Let's begin. I feel the family structure has been broken in Black America, and there's nothing we can do to salvage the family structure. And I'm not going to point out the single mother, but I'm going to point out the male that doesn't have a father. Now, how do I explain to the male that does not have a father, pick up your pants, go to school, don't sell drugs? How do I put those things inside his head? I can sit there and explain to him, listen, you sagging your pants, that comes from prison. That means that you're soliciting a man for prostitution, or it means that you was raped and they took away your belt, so now your pants sagged, or they took away your belt because you tried to kill yourself or you used it as a weapon, so therefore your pants sag. How do I sit back and tell this young man that, this style is homoerotic? If you're not a gay male and you're not advertising sex, why are you showing your ass crack around other men? What are you trying to do with that? A female dresses sexy to arouse the males that are around her, especially in a strip club. So how can I take this example for this young man to sit there and see that this is the foolish negative behavior, wearing pants so tight that his nuts are hurting? I don't see how I can sit there and put this inside of his brain when he thinks this is cool. When you got weak punk bastards like Lil Wayne going around making this a homoerotic, no homo, when it actually is homo style. I just don't know how. And then second, let's talk to the young black male again, where, he says to me, Rich, you got yourself your bachelor's and everything else, and you did every single thing, but at the end of the day, motherfucker, you only make about $1,000, $1,200 a week, when I do that in 3 days, when I move a little bit of weed or a little bit of coke. How do I sit back and tell him that when you do the long math, you are going to go to jail, get molested, most likely probably catch something, and come out and you never be the same person? When that man lives for today, but does not see that the error of his ways will result in him doing time incarcerated, where a white male or other people of other backgrounds will make money off of your dumbass. The police officer that arrest you, the security officers that transported you to and back from the jail, the judge, the jury, and then you're going to be on some sort of probation, some sort of therapy, some sort of counseling. And those are all jobs spun off this young black male who is getting it in today. How do I sit back and explain to him that, the lifestyle that you're living is going to go straight towards a road of destruction? And most important, that male right there does not ever seem to save his money because he lacks the education and taking his money and putting it in something, in some sort of investment, that if he does go to jail and come back out, he can sit back and recover. He takes his money that he sits back and sells to his own people and puts it right back into white businesses. He'll buy himself a car. He won't lease it. He will buy himself clothes. And he will trick on a female. Trick on a female means spend on a female. Spend on a female is bowling. Bowling means just to squander cash. Squander is to waste. Waste is something that's just not good. Something you get rid of. So a man who's going to make a whole bunch of money and just get rid of it so he can live in the moment of today. And he's trying to emulate a lifestyle of rappers. But since he doesn't know the education that the rappers don't make this money, they make all their money off tours. He thinks the money comes off CDs, and a rapper only gets 3 cents on every single CD, and most of music is getting downloaded. How do I tell this young black guy that people are not buying units of CDs like that? People download their stuff, and people are not buying coke like that. How do I sit there and explain these basic, simple principles to him? Where he sits back and says, well, you know what? I had to take care of my mother and my siblings. So now this young black male who can't work at Target, Best Buy, Kruger's or Kroger's or whatever you call it in the South, any type of store to help his family survive. But more important, why should he be in a position where he has to help his family? Why can't he just not be a child? So the child, the young black male, feels some sort of obligation, drops out of school, tries to get himself a job to help out the family. Why was he put into this world if he has to struggle at such a young age? His perception has already been altered. I would have to say, well, where are the parents? Okay, that same black male, let's go back to him, and he feels that getting females, having sex with these females, Gundam style, no condom, because condoms are only for faggots, this is what he believes, and he doesn't pull out. All he knows is to get the next female. And we want to point the finger at him. He's not going out with a gun raping these females are selecting them. For me to sit back and say that a man goes up to a girl and says, yo, shorty, what's good? Let me fuck you. And she goes, okay, that's kind of foolish. I believe it's more like the guy comes up to the female and he kicks whatever game he can. And that female already knew within the first 5 seconds of seeing him if she would have sex with him. So this is the reason why I feel that it's not really the male's fault. It's the female's fault, because the female is the one who allows it to go from A to B. Once a female says, I'm not interested in you, most guys, let's say about 95% of men will say, okay, and they move on. So if the female sits back and raises her standard of what type of male that she wants, then you will have a better family. So again, who is really doing all the initiation? Because the ugliest female can always find somebody. She can always find somebody. And a man is only going to go as far as you allow him. If you are in my presence right now and I start to reach on you, you're going to be like, whoa, Rich, calm down. I'm married. That's where it ends. But if you allow me to go further, what are you saying about your marriage? Now, if your husband wanted to sit there and punch me in my face or take out a gun and shoot and kill me, he has all 100% because I'm going against the ring and everything else. But if you allow a door, and that door is you're not stopping that person from going any further than what is appropriate, what is that saying about you? Because the man will always make his move to advance. The female is the one that will shut him down. The female already knows if she wants to have sex with that dude or not. Now, some females say, oh, well, it's not like that. Bullshit. Bullshit. Have a casual conversation with some of your male friends. Well, if we were to sit back and stuff were to go, would you stop me? Ask some of your male friends, would you ever stop me if it ever got to like that certain point? And see what they say. You probably will be surprised. So this is the reason why people feel it's kind of a gender war. But I'm not going to say it's a gender war. I'm going to say it's more of a lost cause. Due to the fact that nobody wants to take accountability. You have young boys that grow up to be big boys. They never get to that stage in their life where they mature to become men. A female has to always keep inside of her mind that it's her body, number one. When she gets pregnant by herself. And when she goes into labor, she goes into labor by herself. And you know what? She has that possibility of dying during labor, and so does the child. So now how does a male or a big boy or even a man ever can understand that? They cannot. So would it not be more appropriate to say you as the female has to sit back and make a better decision when you're choosing a man to enter inside of your body? Again, the female has to make a better decision, because if it's not forced, that means you allowed it. Like if you were to sit back and cheat on your husband with an 18-year-old man, that's your business, but that's a bad decision. That's a very bad decision on your part, because an 18-year-old man if he doesn't have no sort of inheritance or whatever, or not mature, how could he provide for you? You see, females make decisions at the age of 16, 17 that impacts them the rest of their life, or in their early 20s, which infects them the rest of their life. And I say infect because it's such a traumatic thing that goes on that we cannot sit there and just sum it up to, oh, well, she just dropped the ball. No, it's, damn, look at all the hurdles she has to jump through. And then most important of all, if you are to be with a guy and you are to have sex with him, the female has to keep in number one, self-preservation. There is nothing no man can ever say to a female for that condom not to be worn. If he says real men don't wear condoms, faggots wear condoms, then you need to say, hey, you need to be a faggot and put this condom on. You have that right. It is not a choice. It is an obligation to yourself. So this is the reason why I feel the females are not only the backbone of the family, they are the family. Once you attack the female, the whole family falls apart.